There's a quiet power in the person who walks through chaos as if it's just a breeze passing by. Imagine yourself walking through a storm, not with a shield, not with an umbrella, but with the kind of confidence that says, "This too shall pass." That's what acting as if nothing bothers you really means. It's not that you're ignorant of the noise, it's that you've learned to raise your frequency above it. The strongest person in the room is not the one who shouts the loudest or reacts the fastest, but the one who controls their emotional weather like a seasoned captain steering through waves. Life will always throw things your way. Betrayal, rejection, failure, insults, mockery, setbacks. But you are not here to react to every gust of wind. You are here to move forward regardless. Acting unbothered doesn't mean you feel nothing. It means you've trained yourself to respond instead of react. It's a kind of emotional discipline that doesn't happen overnight. It takes grit, it takes awareness, and most of all, it takes patience. When someone tries to provoke you and you simply smile and walk away, you are not being weak, you're being wise. When people talk behind your back and you don't bother to defend yourself, you are not being silent out of fear, you are demonstrating quiet strength. You have nothing to prove to people who don't deserve an explanation. You see, energy is currency. Every time you argue with someone who doesn't understand you, you're giving away a piece of your peace. Every time you let anger control your actions, you are handing over your power like loose change. To act unbothered is to say, I choose where my energy goes. I decide what affects me. I'm not a slave to my circumstances. I'm the architect of my reaction. And when you master that level of self-command, the world begins to see you differently. People wonder why you don't flinch when things go wrong. They're puzzled by your calm when everything around you is burning. That's when they start to realize there's something unshakable about you. Don't confuse calmness with numbness. You're not shutting your emotions off. You're simply placing them in order. You are saying, my peace matters more than being right. My focus is more valuable than a pointless argument. You are not avoiding conflict. You're choosing not to participate in things that won't matter in 5 years. That is wisdom. That is growth. And that is the path of someone who is not just surviving, but mastering life. People who act bothered by everything are always tired, always bitter, always unstable. That's because their emotions are on a roller coaster without brakes. But when you act as if nothing bothers you, you take control of the wheel. You become the calm in the center of your own storm. And that calm becomes your strength. That stillness becomes your strategy. That emotional composure becomes your weapon. Because when you stop reacting, you start thinking. When you stop panicking, you start planning. And when you stop trying to control everything outside of you, you begin to control everything within you. So the next time someone underestimates you, let them. The next time someone tests your patience, pass the test. The next time someone doubts your worth, don't explain, show results. Let your silence speak louder than your defense. Let your peace become the loudest thing in the room. The person who can remain centered when everyone else is losing it is the one who leads, not just others, but their own destiny. Every day, life gives you 2 choices, react or respond. Most people react, and they pay the price for it. Their peace gets hijacked by petty remarks, their joy is crushed by momentary failures, and their confidence breaks with every insult. But if you want to rise above the noise, you must learn to build mental strength like a muscle. That means showing up every day with the mindset that nothing, absolutely nothing, will shake your center. Not the opinions of others, not the doubts in your head, not the disappointments that try to trap you. You walk through each challenge as if it's already beneath you, because it is. You've outgrown it, outsmarted it, outlasted it. You don't need to scream that you're unbothered. You live it. You breathe it. It shows in how you carry yourself, how you keep your head high when others want to bring you low. It reflects in how you don't flinch when someone throws shade, because you understand that shade only affects those looking for light from the wrong sources. You've created your own light, your own rhythm, your own foundation, and nothing from the outside gets to shake what you've built on the inside. That's the power of mental maturity. You see, people will always project their fears onto you. They'll try to make you feel small so they can feel tall. They'll test you just to see you break. But every time you respond with calm, with focus, with grace, you win. Not because you proved anything to them, but because you proved to yourself that you are in control. And once you master control over your reactions, you hold the key to mastering your destiny. Because no one can manipulate a person who doesn't rise to provocation. No one can control someone who remains calm under pressure. And no one can break someone who has already made peace with themselves. Imagine walking into a room full of people who tried to break you, and you still walk with elegance. You still speak with kindness. You still smile like nothing ever touched you. That's not faking it. That's rising above it. That's training yourself to be so rooted in your self-worth that external chaos can't uproot your internal peace. You're not acting as if nothing bothers you to suppress emotion. You're doing it to direct energy. Your focus is a precious resource, and you've learned to protect it like a king guards his crown. Acting unbothered doesn't mean you ignore your problems. It means you tackle them without panic. You face them without drama. You move through them like a warrior, silent and disciplined. And when things go wrong, as they always will, you take a deep breath and remind yourself, storms don't last forever. No season is permanent, and no failure defines your future unless you let it. You've seen worse. You've survived more. You didn't come this far to lose yourself in noise. So you rise, quietly, powerfully, consistently. Let others waste their energy on gossip. Let them lose sleep over opinions. You've chosen a different path, the path of clarity, of calm, of command. While they react, you reflect. While they rant, you rebuild. While they crumble under pressure, you create under it. That's what sets you apart. That's what makes you unstoppable. And with every challenge you face in silence, with every insult you let bounce off, you build a fortress around your mind that no storm can penetrate. People may call you emotionless, heartless, too cold. Let them. They don't understand that behind your calm is a fire. Behind your silence is a story. Behind your smile is a storm you've already conquered. They weren't there when you had to pick yourself up in the dark. They didn't see the nights you cried but still woke up ready to fight again. So no, you don't owe them your reactions. You don't owe them your pain. You owe yourself peace. You owe ourself progress. And you've decided that nothing, not hate, not chaos, not doubt, will rob you of that anymore. When you learn to act as if nothing bothers you, you're not pretending. You're protecting. You're guarding your energy because it's sacred. You've come too far to let petty people pull you back into battles you've already outgrown. You don't need to clap back. You don't need to prove your side. Your life is the loudest testimony. Your results are the clearest voice, and your growth is the best revenge. Stay quiet. Stay focused. Stay moving. The world will try to distract you with noise, but you've mastered the art of peace. You've chosen to carry yourself like royalty, not reacting to every comment thrown your way. Because you know who you are, you know what you're building, and you know where you're going. True strength doesn't need to be loud. It doesn't come from throwing fists or raising your voice. It comes from knowing you could, but you choose not to. It comes from mastering your impulses, restraining your reactions, and choosing peace over chaos. That's the strength of a disciplined mind. That's the strength of someone who has learned the art of acting unbothered, not as a performance, but as a principle. When everything around you is designed to provoke you, staying calm is a rebellious act. It shows that your mind is not up for rent. Your soul is not available for temporary emotions. Your life is governed by values, not moods. Look around you. The world is full of people trying to bait you into arguments, drag you into drama, and distract you from your growth. Some people thrive on chaos because they have none of their own purpose. They poke, they prod, they provoke, because they are empty. But when you choose to remain still in the face of that noise, you reveal something they can't understand. Peace that wasn't given to you by the world, and therefore cannot be taken away by it. You are not emotionally unavailable. You are emotionally mastered. You have trained yourself not to be pulled by every current. Not every comment deserves our response. Not every fight is worth fighting. Some people misunderstand this calm. They think if you don't react, you're weak. They think silence means surrender. But they don't see the war you've already fought within. They don't know how many versions of yourself you've had to destroy just to get here. So no, you're not silent because you have nothing to say. You're silent because you've learned that peace is louder than any argument. You've chosen to protect your energy like it's sacred. And it is. Your time, your focus, your emotional bandwidth, it all has value. And the minute you start giving that away to every opinion, every provocation, every critic, you're letting others steal what they didn't earn. To act unbothered is to walk through a crowd of doubters without losing your purpose. To keep your head high when others try to shame you. To stay on your path when everyone is yelling at you to turn back. It's the refusal to let chaos dictate your character. When someone disrespects you and you respond with grace, it's not weakness, it's strength under control. When the world expects you to explode and you simply nod and keep moving, you have just proven your superiority without saying a word. People often forget that restraint is a form of dominance. Composure is a form of power. And ignoring stupidity is a form of brilliance. Ask yourself, what is really worth your peace? What deserves your energy today? A rude comment, a petty insult, a momentary failure. None of these things have the power to define your day unless you hand it over. And the more you practice not giving your energy away freely, the more powerful you become. You don't just save energy, you redirect it into your goals, into your growth, into your purpose, into the life you're building. You are not meant to chase validation. You are meant to chase evolution. And every day you act unbothered by things that once used to trigger you, you prove that you've evolved. There is nothing more intimidating than a person who doesn't flinch. Not because they're emotionless, but because they've outgrown emotional chaos. The kind of person who knows how to smile when being tested, how to walk away from toxicity, how to win battles that no one even sees because they were fought internally. That's who you're becoming. That's the real flex. Not showing everyone how tough you are by reacting, but showing how stable you are by not reacting. You become someone who can handle pressure without folding, someone who can hear rumors without breaking, someone who can take rejection and still move forward with elegance. The goal is not to become numb, it's to become selective, to not carry every burden that knocks on your door, to not give your attention to everything that tries to disturb your balance. Because when you let every little thing affect you, you become a slave to the world. But when you master the act of emotional detachment from nonsense, you become a king in your own mind. And the kingdom you build from that place? It's unshakable. People will come and go. Challenges will rise and fade. Some days will be heavier than others. But the one thing you always control is how you show up. And if you can show up no matter what with clarity in your mind, peace in your heart, and fire in your actions, then you've already won. You've already separated yourself from the masses who let emotions govern their lives. You are not here to react. You are here to rise, to build, to lead, to become the calmest storm the world has ever seen. There comes a point in life when silence becomes your roar, when stillness becomes your sword, when being unbothered is not just a mindset, it becomes your armor. The final stage of growth is not about shouting louder or winning every argument. It's about no longer needing to. You've stepped into a space where nothing outside, of you controls what's inside you. That's the ultimate freedom. That's the kind of peace that turns ordinary people into legends. And the path to that peace begins the moment you stop explaining yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you. You don't get stronger by yelling at the rain. You get stronger by walking through it without losing direction. You get stronger by carrying your scars with dignity, not shame. By taking pain and turning it into power. By choosing not to let temporary emotions ruin permanent progress. And once you realize that your peace is worth more than your pride, everything shifts. You no longer waste time trying to convince people of your worth. You just become it, quietly, consistently, relentlessly. The world is full of noise, opinions, judgments, pressure, distractions. Everyone wants your attention. Everyone wants your reaction. But not everyone deserves it. And the ability to filter what deserves your energy and what doesn't is what separates those who struggle from those who soar. You weren't born to please the world. You were born to fulfill a purpose. And that purpose needs focus, not friction. Growth, not gossip. Discipline, not drama. Acting unbothered isn't about pretending you don't care. It's about protecting what you care about most. Your mission, your time, your peace. You'll find that the more you evolve, the quieter you become. Not because you don't have anything to say, but because you don't need to say everything. Your actions begin to speak for you. Your results become your voice. You begin to operate at a level where noise can't reach you. And the people who once triggered you, they become invisible. The opinions that once tore you down, they lose all weight. You walk through life with this quiet confidence, this invisible crown, because you've learned the greatest secret of all. Not everything deserves a response, and you act as if nothing bothers you. You begin to live on a higher frequency. You attract different people. You make different decisions. You value your peace above all. And that alone changes the trajectory of your entire life. Because when you are calm, you think clearly. When you are focused, you move with purpose. And when you stop reacting to small things, you make room for big things. That is where transformation happens. That is where real success begins. Not in the noise, but in the clarity you find above it. Some people will never understand your calm. They will try to provoke you just to see if they can still get a reaction. And when you give them none, they'll feel powerless. That's not your problem. That's their battle. You are not here to entertain insecurity. You are not here to answer every critic. You are here to build, to heal, to grow. And every moment you act unbothered, you take your power back from people who never deserved it in the first place. It takes real strength to walk away. It takes real courage to stay silent when you know you could destroy someone with words. It takes deep wisdom to choose peace when war is easier. That's the level you must aim for. Not just for the world, but for yourself. Because your peace is not just a luxury, it's your foundation. And when that foundation is strong, nothing can shake you. Not opinions, not betrayal, not failure, nothing. So learn to act as if nothing bothers you, not because you're cold, but because you're focused. Because you've cried the tears, you've fought the battles, you've walked through the fire and came out stronger. You don't need to shout your worth anymore. You live it. You breathe it. You embody it. Your silence now carries a weight your words never could. Become the person who doesn't flinch when plans change, when people leave, when setbacks come. Become the person who walks into every room like they belong, even if no one welcomes them. Become the one who radiates calm in the middle of storms, because you know that peace is not something you wait for. It's something you create. Inside you. Every single day. People will wonder how you remain so composed. They'll question your stillness. They'll mistake your calm for indifference. Let them. You don't need to explain a thing. Your energy speaks volumes. Your focus writes the story. And your peace, your unshakable, untouchable, unwavering peace, that's the loudest flex of all. This is who you are now. Not easily rattled, not moved by every wave. You've become the ocean. Deep, powerful, calm on the surface, but unstoppable in depth. You've outgrown the version of you who used to beg for attention, for validation, for approval. You've stepped into a version of yourself that doesn't need the noise to feel worthy. You've learned to walk quietly, think clearly, and move purposefully. The world might never stop testing you, but that's okay, because you've stopped reacting to every test. You've started passing them instead. With grace, with wisdom, with discipline. You are not cold. You are controlled. You are not detached. You are determined. You are not pretending. You are protecting. And the peace you've built within yourself is your greatest achievement yet. So walk on. Head high, mind calm, spirit steady, and let the world keep guessing how you do it. Because they'll never know the storms you've survived to look this still.